If you're looking for some books bursting with fiery female rage, you've come to the right place. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Carly, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some books that are absolutely bursting with feminine fury. I do feel like sometimes there's a fine line between female empowerment vibes and full-blown unhinged feminine fury, and this video is going to explore them all. So we've got some books that are more like simmering female rage, and then we've got some books that are literally full-blown boiling over, you're gonna need therapy after reading them, female rage. I also thought I would do something slightly different for this video. So half of this video is going to be books that I've read and would recommend. And then the other half is going to be like female rage books that I've got on my TBR that I cannot wait to read. As always, thank you so much for being here. If you are enjoying my content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really, really means so much to me. And yeah, I hope you're strapped in because I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a wild ride. Right, we're going to start off with a fairly mild one because I don't want to scare you off right at the beginning. So we've got a kind of feminine, I think this has been described as like a feminist serial killer thriller. They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. Now, I actually recently finished this. I only finished this a couple of days ago. And oh my God, I absolutely loved it. So the tagline of this book says something like, he wasn't afraid of me and that was his first mistake. And instantly I was like, this book has got my name all over it. So it follows the story of Scarlett, who by day is an English professor and by night she is a vengeful serial killer. She did kind of give me Kitty Collins vibes, to be honest. And I absolutely loved her character. So the police have started looking into local deaths in the area, and Scarlett is beginning to realise that her secret life as a serial killer is at risk of being exposed. Honestly, I bloody love this book. I just love a female revenge serial killer book. Like, I love the Kitty Collins books, and this one definitely gave me similar vibes. It is so unhinged. I just loved the pacing of the book. I loved how you got like the different POVs of different characters. I absolutely love how this book ended, and I can totally see where the hype around it has come from. Right, next up we have got Dollface by R.J. Powell, and I have previously spoken about this book on one of my other videos. I think it was the most unhinged books I've ever read. So some books will cross over from that video, but there are loads in this video that aren't in that video and vice versa. So if unhinged females are your vibe, then definitely check that one out as well. So yeah, Dollface by R.J. Powell is literally the teeniest, tiniest little horror novella. This is an extreme horror novella, so please go into it with caution. And it basically follows the story of Dolly, who is after her revenge for all of the things that Papa has put her through over the years. And how many pages is this book? Is it like 80 odd pages? And oh my God, does this pack a punch? This is full blown boiling over the pot female rage. So if you like your books really, really, really unhinged, then I highly recommend this one. But please do check trigger warnings before you go into it, because it's actually quite disgusting, to be honest. And I'm just going to say it now before we carry on with the rest of the video. We listen and we don't judge, okay? I love me some feminine rage and unhinged books. Right, next up we have got a witchy book, Slewfoot by Brom. And oh my God, this is actually one of my favourite witchy books. And the feminine rage vibe in this book is immaculate. So this is more like historical folklore witchy, and the way it is written, oh my God, it's almost like poetic. It is absolutely stunning. So this book is set in 1666. Note the date. Wink, wink. And it is about a girl called Abatha. She is a recently widowed outcast of society that finds herself in a really vulnerable situation. And she calls upon Slewfoot to help her. So Slewfoot is kind of like the devil, a demon. And this book is kind of like the battle between pagan and Puritan. It plods along quite nicely, to be honest. And we've got bits that are more about Slewfoot and the folklory part, which is very whimsical. And like I've said, it's very poetic. Honestly, the writing is absolutely stunning. And then we've got Abatha's storyline alongside that as well. And yeah, it just plods along quite nicely until the feminine rage is absolutely unleashed in the second half of the book. And honestly, I wasn't ready for it, but I absolutely lapped it up. Next up, we have got Diavola by Jennifer Thorne. Now, this one is around 300 pages, so it's a fairly short read. And it is set in a Tuscan villa, and it is about an extremely dysfunctional family and their literal ghost. So there is an actual ghost in this villa. And to be quite frank, she's terrifying. So the story basically follows this family, and as the book goes on, their behaviour just becomes more and more outrageous and unhinged, but so too do the ghostly activities and unexplained things. So we've got like food in the villa that is rotting away almost instantly. There's strange noises at night. All the local people are telling them not to open the door at the top of the stairs, and of course they're going to open the door. I mean, I would probably open the door, to be honest. And if I could describe this book in a very short sentence, it would basically be unhinged female ghost rage. It is very atmospheric. It's got humour in it. And it actually made me scared to brush my teeth in front of the mirror, just in case she was standing behind me. If you've read this book, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. Right, next up, we have got one that I think I have probably spoken about on nearly every video on this channel, but I could not do a female rage video and not add this into it. Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson, because this, I feel like this isn't your normal female rage story. So it is not full-blown unhinged rage. It is more psychological mess with your mind rage. And honestly, this is one of my favorite horror books ever. If you haven't seen any of my other previous videos, I will very briefly tell you what it's about. So it's about two girls called Ash and Rosemary. They meet at a farmer's market, and Rosemary just becomes obsessed with Ash. So Ash is at this farmer's market selling all the things that she makes. So you've got like these candles and decadent cupcakes, and honestly, the food descriptions and the farmer's market vibes are absolutely delicious. Delilah S. Dawson's writing in this book is spot on, and I absolutely loved it. And then, yeah, basically throughout this whole book, you have just got this sense of creeping dread the whole way through. Like, you know something really bad is going to happen, and something really bad does happen at the end. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because I actually think you should go into this book blind and just prepared to have your socks blown off, because that's what I did. I didn't have a clue what this book was about. At the end of the book, I literally gasped out loud. I was shooketh. Next up, we have got another one of my absolute faves. I think I may have actually only mentioned this once previously on my channel. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Now, this has been marketed as being about toxic lesbian vampires, and it is absolutely bursting with female rage, obsession, desire, all the things I love, basically. So we have got 3 separate timelines, 3 separate storylines, and 3 separate women. We've got a 16th century storyline set in Spain. We have got a 19th century storyline set in London. And then we have got a present day storyline set in Boston. And honestly, this book is an absolute masterpiece. It is actually in the running for my book of the year. It's between that and Book of Doors at the moment. I cannot recommend it enough. The female rage vibes in this book are literally there from the very beginning. It is completely unhinged. I absolutely devoured this book, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you love books about female rage and unhinged females and feral females, you absolutely need to read this book right now. Next up, we have got another one that I've previously mentioned on my channel, Shy Girl by Mia Ballard. And this is another one that I could not leave out of this video. It follows the story of Gia, who is down on her luck. She's absolutely broke. And she ends up meeting this guy called Nathan through a sugar daddy website. And he promises to solve all of Gia's financial problems on the condition that Gia lives with him in his house as his pet. And when I say that, I mean quite literally, he wants Gia to live in his house as his very own pet dog. So she has to act like a dog, sleep like a dog. She's not allowed to speak, all the rest of it. And yes, it is as bizarre as it sounds. But, the female rage in this book is absolute chef's kiss. And I bloody loved it. Right, next up we have got The Butcher's Daughter by David Demchuk and Corinne Lee Clark. And this is a historical horror, is it? About Mrs. Lovett, who, if you don't know who Mrs. Lovett is, she was the one that worked in the bakery underneath Sweeney Todd that used to bake people into pies. So this one has a gothic Victorian setting, which I personally love. The Victorian era is one of my favourite eras to read about. Literally, if I see a book that says Victorian or gothic on it, immediately I'm buying it. And this book is also very graphic and very dark, which I also love. Another thing I absolutely love that we have in this book is mixed media. So most of the story is told through letters and newspaper articles. And this just made the book even more fun to read. I literally had the best time while I was reading this book. And to be honest, like the first half was more... I feel like it was more like building up, but the second half, oh my God, there was a point in this book, literally a page, where it was like a light switch went on. It was as if all hell had broken loose from that point onwards. It was unhinged, it was gory, and I absolutely bloody loved it. Right, next up we have got Merciless Waters by Ray Knowles. First of all, how bloody stunning is that cover? I absolutely love it. So this is a short horror novella. It is just 126 pages, but boy, does it pack a punch. It is, oh my God, this is another book that is absolutely delicious. The writing in it, outstanding. There's a little tagline. It's either a tagline or a blurb, and it says something like, "We crave violence, so we swallow violent men." And this book is absolutely bursting with feminine rage, desire, obsession. We've got a sapphic love story in there as well. So it basically follows the story of Lily and Jack, and they are on this ship. So it's an all-female crew, but they are living in this existence where they have no future and they have no memories of their past. So they just exist in this never-ending present state. So Lily and Jack are in love, but one day a man ends up on board after he's been found drifting in the open ocean. And Jack starts getting very jealous and her obsession takes over, and so do her murderous desires. She starts to realise that this man's presence is starting to infect all of the other female crew with their own memories of the past. And these memories are starting to fuel everybody's violent, murderous rage, to be honest. I feel like I'm not really doing it justice because the writing in it is so stunning. I love the ocean setting as well. It kind of gave me like Unhinged, whimsical, fever dream, sirens vibes, to be honest. And I think this is actually based on Slavic folklore, which I know absolutely nothing about. But after reading this book, it has made me want to find out more because honestly, I cannot recommend this book enough. Next up, we have got The Hanging of Hetty Gale by Tess Burnett. And the tagline of this book says something like, "A mother's love will never die, a mother's fury will live forever." This is another one that kind of gave me like female unhinged ghost rage vibes. So basically it is a dark historical mystery that follows the story of Hetty Gale. She has escaped her very abusive father and created a new life for herself and her son. However, one night, Hetty gets assaulted by a group of men who lie about this assault, and Hetty finds herself on trial accused of a crime that she didn't commit. So in this book, we've kind of got like a dual timeline. So that's like the historical timeline. And then we've got a present day timeline that follows the story of a woman that's gone missing, and her cousin is trying to find out what has happened to her and where she's gone and why she's vanished and all the rest of it. And the two storylines intertwine, and we just find out more about Hetty's story and how Hetty's ghost is still seeking revenge all these years later. This book is incredible. I think it is extremely underrated. I don't see anybody talking about it. The character development and the story, I just found it so immersive and atmospheric. I absolutely loved it. I mean, it is absolutely bursting with female rage, but it's also really sad as well. Highly recommend this one for the female rage vibes, but also if you want something to tug at your heartstrings as well. Right, so that's the end of the first section and the books that I've read and would recommend. Although I do want to give an honorary shout out to some other female rage books that I highly recommend, but they were in my Unhinged books video, so I didn't want it to be too repetitive. We've got Medea, The Devil and Mrs. Davenport, Mayfly, The Girl in 6E, and also we've got Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fato and Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanagh, which I don't think I've previously mentioned, but they definitely give feral female vibes as well. Right, let's get on to the feral female books that I've got on my TBR that I am so excited to read. They're actually making me want to quit my job so that I can literally just read them right now. Right, first up we have got The Mind series by S.T. Abbey. So this has been marketed as a dark romance, I think. But going off the reviews and from what other people have said, I feel like it gives more female serial killer revenge thriller vibes. Bloody hell, that was a mouthful to say. It has been described as being raw and violent, and immediately I'm like, yes, please, I need to read it. So it is about the main character, our main female character, who falls for an FBI agent that's hunting serial killers, and she's one of them. So I think the book I've got is actually quite chunky. Where is it? One sec, I'll get it. So this is the book, and I think it is, it says books 1 to 5. So there's 5 books within this one book. Like, I have not heard one bad thing about this series, and I absolutely cannot wait to read it. I am really going to try my best to read it this year. I've had that on my shelf for over a year, and I just keep forgetting about it. Also, the good thing is, if I read that, that's 5 books towards my Goodreads goal. Right, next up we have got Mary by Nat Cassidy, and the tagline of this, I think it says something like, I think it may actually be part of the title, An Awakening of Terror. I mean, literally, say less. I am actually desperate for a copy of this book, but we can't get it in the UK, so I may have to see if I can import it, but I think this is about a middle-aged perimenopausal woman called Mary who starts unraveling. She starts getting these visions and flashbacks, which she discovers are actually from a serial killer. Apparently, it is super twisty. It is about Mary's own identity, about her own self-worth or lack of. I've also seen, apparently, it's about a cult. And I mean, this book literally has my name all over it. So again, this is another one I think I'm going to try and read for spooky season. Oh my God, guys, I am so excited to put together my spooky season TBR as well. I think I'm going to start thinking about it the next couple of weeks so that I can post it. When shall I post my spooky season TBR? Let me know when you want it. Shall I maybe leave it for September? I'm also planning an autumn/fall TBR video. So I'm so excited about all these videos I've got to film. Right, next up we have got A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers, and this is another one with an absolutely stunning front cover. I mean, can we just take a moment? And for this one, I am actually going to read you the blurb because I feel like sometimes the blurb can do a much better job than I can. So it says, from her idyllic farm-to-table childhood to the heights of her career as a food critic, Dorothy Daniels has never been shy about indulging her exquisite tastes, even when it led to her plunging an ice pick into her lover's neck. There is something inside Dorothy that she's finally ready to confess. But beware, her story might just make you wonder how your lover would taste paste, sauteed with shallots and mushrooms, and deglazed with a little red wine. Like, stop. I need to read this book, like, right now. So yeah, I think this is about an unhinged female cannibal. So, need I say more? Right, next up we have got Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This is another fairly short book. I think this is under 300 pages. And apparently this has been turned into a film as well. I mean, maybe I need to check out the film. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but I think this book is about a mother that believes she is beginning to turn into a werewolf. Yes, I know, I've got some strange books on my TBR. It has been described, I think it was in someone's review, as being feral and unholy. And honestly, I'm sold just on that. Right, next up we have got Breakdown by Kathy Sweeney, and this is another short one. I think this one is just over 200 pages, and it is about the darker side of motherhood. So it follows the story of a mother who one morning wakes up and decides to just walk out the door, leaving her husband and teenage children in bed, and never come back. She just walks out the door and leaves them and abandons them. And I mean, to be honest, I have been tempted myself a few times. After 48 hours of completely unhinged behaviour, this woman comes to the realisation that she thinks she's having a mental breakdown. This one sounds like it's got more of a psychological kind of simmering mum rage than full-blown, like, violent female rage. So I think this is a good one for this video because it kind of gives you a bit of everything, doesn't it? It's a slightly different option if the violence isn't for you. Right, next up we have got A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This one is on Kindle Unlimited, and this is a gothic dark romance about Dracula's first bride, Constanta. So it is a tale of obsession and desire and revenge because Constanta takes out her revenge on all of the people that wronged her in her human life. And to be honest, I don't think I need to say too much more on this book because female rage and vampires is literally all I need to know. Right, next up we have got Full Brutal by Christopher Triana, and this one is another fairly short one. I think it is 250, 60 odd pages, and this one is literally given full-blown, you're going to need therapy after reading this book vibes. So it follows the story of Kim, who is a popular cheerleader. She has got everything in her life that she could ever have wanted, but she's absolutely sick of it. She's sick of living the perfect life and ends up on this massive rampage that just escalates into complete destruction and murder, to be honest. Like, this is giving full-blown, unhinged, violent female rage vibes, and I absolutely cannot wait. I think this is going to be another one that's going to end up on my spooky season TBR. Next up, we have got Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, and this book is a sapphic reworking of Carmilla, which is the book that inspired Dracula. I mean, I'm literally sold already. So it follows the story of Lenore. She has been married for 10 years. The marriage has turned sour. They end up on a trip. So they end up traveling to the Peak District. And whilst on their travels, they end up having an accident with their carriage, which brings Carmilla into Lenore's life. So basically, this is another book that is full of sapphic vampire obsession and about women that are consumed with hunger. And to be honest, if it's got female vampires in a gothic setting, it is an immediate yes from me. Next up, we have got Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, and I cannot believe I haven't read this book yet. It is an absolute crime. I bloody love Rachel Harrison, and I love the way she writes female characters. And this one follows the story of Rory. She ends up in a bit of a car accident where she hits an animal. She gets out to investigate, and this animal attacks her. And after her recovery from this attack, she finds that she's not feeling quite herself. She's unnaturally strong. She's obsessed with the moon. I think you can see where I'm going with this. And it is about Rory kind of like on this journey, wondering whether she should just embrace this new wild side in order to fully accept herself. I just know I'm going to love this book. I mean, female werewolf rage. Do I need to say any more? Next up, we have got The Vegetarian by Han Kang. This is available on Kindle Unlimited, and it is another really short book. I think it's under 200 pages. It is a translated fiction that follows the story of Young Hai, who decides one day to become a vegetarian. But she lives in South Korea, where becoming a vegetarian is seen as a shocking rebellion. And her becoming a vegetarian is basically the start of this increasingly unhinged behaviour and rage, by the sounds of it. This is supposed to be extremely disturbing. It is about female madness and about rebelling against societal restrictions. As with all of the books I've mentioned previously, please make sure you check trigger warnings before you go into them, because especially this one, I think this one is quite dark. There are quite a lot of trigger warnings. So yeah, make sure you're looking after your mind as well. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Please let me know in the comments if you've got any recommendations for me for completely unhinged female rage books, because this is one of my absolute favourite genres to read, and I am always looking for more recommendations to add to my TBR. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying my content. Your support honestly means so much to me, and I am literally having the best time over here. I will leave it there for now, and I'll catch you all next time.